My biological parents gave me up for adoption, then crashed my college graduation demanding I call them my real family. They went livid with my decision. I was adopted when I was 3 years old. My biological parents were 19 and 20 at the time, and they decided they weren't ready to raise a child. They signed the papers willingly. No one forced them. No one tricked them. They made a choice, and that choice gave me to the two people who became my real parents. My mom and dad adopted me after years of trying to have children on their own. They told me I was chosen. They told me I was wanted. They told me my story started the day I came home with them. I never felt like I was missing anything. I had a childhood full of birthday parties and family vacations and bedtime stories. I had parents who showed up to every school play and every soccer game and every award ceremony. I had a family that loved me completely. I knew I was adopted because my parents never hid it from me. They answered every question I had honestly. They said my biological parents were young and made a difficult decision. They said it didn't mean I wasn't loved. They said sometimes the people who give you life aren't the same people who raise you, and that was okay. I accepted that and moved on with my life. When I turned 18, I had the option to access information about my biological parents. I thought about it for a while and decided I wasn't interested. I had parents. I didn't need to go looking for more. I figured if my biological parents wanted to find me, they could reach out through the proper channels, and I would decide then how I felt. They never reached out. Not when I turned 18. Not when I turned 19 or 20. I assumed they had moved on with their lives just like I had moved on with mine. Then I graduated from college last spring. It was a big day for my family. My parents drove 4 hours to be there. My grandparents came. My aunt and uncle came. Everyone was so proud of me for being the first person in my family to finish a 4-year degree. After the ceremony, we were all standing outside taking pictures when two strangers walked up to our group, a man and a woman in their early 40s. They stood there staring at me with tears in their eyes. The woman said my name, not the name my parents gave me. The name that was on my original birth certificate before the adoption was finalized. I didn't respond because that wasn't my name. She said it again and then said she was my mother. She said they had been looking for me for years. She said they made a mistake giving me up and they wanted to make things right. She said they were ready to be my parents now. My mom stepped forward and asked who these people were. The woman looked at her and said she was my real mother and she was here to take me back. She said it like I was a borrowed item being returned to its rightful owner. My dad asked them to leave. The man who was apparently my biological father got angry. He said they had every right to be there. He said I was their flesh and blood and no piece of paper could change that. He said they spent 20 years regretting their decision and they weren't going to waste any more time. He said I belonged with them. I stood there frozen while my two families faced each other. My biological mother kept trying to touch my arm. She kept calling me by that old name. She kept saying things like, "We have so much to catch up on, and I can't wait to show you where you really come from." My mom was shaking. My dad looked like he was ready to physically remove these people. My grandparents didn't know what to do. My graduation day turned into a confrontation in a parking lot. I finally found my voice. I told them to stop. I told them I didn't know them. I told them the people standing behind me were my parents, and they needed to leave. My biological mother started crying. She said I was confused. She said the people who raised me had brainwashed me against her. She said if I just gave her a chance, I would see that she was my real family. She said blood was thicker than water, and I would understand that eventually. She said they had been watching me from a distance for years, waiting for the right moment to reconnect. I asked what she meant by watching me. She said they found me online a few years ago. They saw my high school graduation pictures. They saw my social media posts. They knew what college I attended. They knew what I was studying. They had been following my life without ever reaching out directly because they wanted to wait until I was old enough to make my own decisions. I told them they made their choice 2 decades ago, and I was making my choice now. Full story on channel. Link below.